But outside the hospital precincts, a mood of optimism prevails. Rotorua's had a prosperous Labour weekend, and Brian Holden reports on 2 glorious fine days with temperatures into the 20s. Petrol is on the rise again, but farmers have more good news as the New Zealand dollar falls to an all-time low of 39.5 cents against the US dollar. A transformation is announced for this Fenton street corner, and soon these homes will be shifted to be replaced by a new $5 million motel complex. Elsewhere, the local builders are already hard at work. Things are progressing well at the International Stadium, while Wairiki Institute of Technology is seeing the final construction stages of what will be a new student services building worth $5.7 million, scheduled for opening early in the new year. At Rotorua Boys High School, work is already proceeding well with the new Millennium Centre, and the school has been celebrating the further success of their golfers at the New Zealand Secondary School Championships. But the big sports news is the winning form so far of the Bay of Plenty Steamers. After following the team's fortunes right through the NPC season, local radio sports commentator Tony Rogers reports on the Second Division semi-final clash against King Country.
There may have been a carnival atmosphere at the Domain, but the King Country Rams mascot had a worried look right from the kick-off. Even though they opened the try-scoring action, it was clear they were facing a fired-up Tantalise Steamers. The tight five provided a powerful attacking advantage that sent Keith Pryor across the King Country line in the 11th minute. And minutes later, King Country had no answers as the first, Craig de Goldie, and then Rico Gear also crossed the line. Half-time score, a very comfortable 30 points to 11. Justin Wilson had his turn early in the second 40, and then it was batten down the hatches time as King Country entered their best spell of the game, assisted by a referee heavy-handed with the penalties. But they never really managed to dominate the speedy, powerful Bay pack in defence, and a final clever try from Keith Pryor had the local fans delighted with an emphatic semi-final win, 48 points to 30. And of course, after the match there was time to express a bit of local satisfaction over the day's performance. There may have been a bit of soul-searching about the venue from a Rotorua point of view, but there was no denying that Tauranga really turned it on for the big one, the 2000 Second Division NPC Final. There was a strong sense of deja vu as the opposition finalists arrived. Last year's winners and defending champions Nelson Bays. For Tantalise Steamers coach Gordon Titchens and the team, this was the game they had been waiting for. And the same went for the crowd of Bay supporters. It was time to dispel the memory of that loss by a last-minute penalty in last year's final. Time to nail down the big one after 3 final placings in a row. From the start, the Bay team went on attack. With an inventive backline producing some elusive running and slick passing. The reward came after only 6 minutes as Keith Pryor sends away Rico Gear. Nelson Bays went about to lie down to the challenge. The defence was spirited and the boot of veteran Warren Johnson was punishing, to the extent that 10 minutes into the half had the visitors ahead 12-10. For most of the match, both sets of forwards cancelled each other out. It was in the backs that the Tantalise Steamers' attacking style made the difference. Dean Jennings' penalties put the Bay side back in front, and then it was time for desperate defence, helped along by a crowd of 11,000. The pressure was there right up to the end, but there were no last-minute penalties this year to snatch a victory away. And at the final whistle, Bay of Plenty were the Second Division champions by 16 points to 12, and the celebrations could commence.
That Gordon's team, which was captained by Clayton McMillan at that point, if that team hadn't won that year, I don't know where rugby would be within this region.
It is fitting then that the Steamers Float has a proud place in this year's Christmas parade. And as icing on the cake, for rugby fans and commuters alike, comes the news that the dusty 6-kilometre unsealed stretch of the Tauranga Direct Road will be attended to in the next 12 months. Graham Hall has announced his intention to stand for another term as mayor next year. He and the council have plenty of unfinished business. The deserted multiplex building is still an eyesore wrapped in black plastic. Airport issues remain unresolved. Rotorua's rail service sits in limbo. A plague of pokies intensifies. And then there's the hospital. But to heck with it. Summer's here and the holiday season is almost on us. All in all, 2000 wasn't a bad sort of a year, was it? 2001 can only be better.